welcome to this afternoon's class. This afternoon, the class is a beginner's class. So just because it says it's a yoga class for beginners, it doesn't mean that if you're an advanced practitioner, you're an intermediate practitioner, you can't do this. So basically, what we're going to do here this afternoon is we're going to go through the basics. We're going to learn the foundations of each pose, because learning foundations is really important for us to progress and to be safer in our practice at the same time. So let's start this afternoon onto the mats, coming onto a lengthwise position. Stay close towards the back side of your mat. Okay, so speakers off for those of you whose speakers are still on, microphones off or speakers off. All right, and then I want you to place your big toes to touch together. So uncurl your toes, big toes to touch. And as you place your big toes touching, separate your knees as wide as you like. Sit back to your heels. And then once you're able to sit back to your heels, okay, so really allow your sitting bones to sit towards your heels. Extend both arms towards the tops of the mat. And take your time to lower your chest, your forehead down into your first pose this afternoon, child's pose, or in Sanskrit, we call this balasana. So as you come into this position, this form, this pose, I want you to take time to just arrive into this position. Okay, begin to soften the way that you rest your arms down onto the mat, softening your shoulders, and then inviting your sitting bones to be heavier towards your heels with every exhalation that comes out of your body. Now remember that whenever you feel tired in the middle of the practice, you can always revisit this pose at any time that you feel you need to come to child's pose. This can be your resting pose at any point of the practice. And then notice if you're trying so much to put effort into this form, into this shape, try to just soften. Let go of any tension in any areas of your body. And then begin to slightly lift the head up so that you can look towards your fingers, your thumbs. Cup your right fingers. Okay, so tent out your fingers of your right hand. That means your right arm floats. Bring your left arm underneath of your right. Encourage the left shoulder to lower down, and then gently lower your head any amount close towards the floor. Once you're able to place your left shoulder down towards the mat, with your right fingers, begin to soften them once more, flatten the right palm, and let your right side body, your right armpit side, face down to the mat. So try to even out and square your torso facing down to the mat. And for now, just let your breath flow on its own. Okay, then just notice how your left shoulder feels in this position. Notice if some parts of your body are beginning to compensate because your left shoulder is tight. Okay, and once again, just invite yourself to soften here. I want you to not fight yourself in each of the poses that we do this afternoon. And then whenever you're ready, just lift your head slightly up. Bring your left arm all the way back to the left side of the mat. Cup your fingers or tent it, and place your right arm through. Invite the right shoulder down until you can lower your head as close as you can towards the mat. Now for those of you who want more of that stretch here, you may keep your left finger stent out, or if you want to modify this, you can flatten your left palm and lower your head down towards the mat. And once again, take time to settle down into each form that we get our bodies into. Okay, so no need to rush from one point to the other, from one pose to the other. And then notice if you're tensing in some areas of your body. Notice if you're compensating. You just arrive there, soften. Once again, allow your breath to flow naturally. And then begin to lift your head up. Place your right arm all the way back to the center. And then just shift your weight towards the center side of your mat. And then take your seat. So when I take my seat, I'll face you. For those of you whose microphones or speakers are still turned on, please put your mics on mute or silent. Yeah, thank you. So sit comfortably. I'll be facing you. I'll be facing the sides of my mat, so sit comfortably. I'll introduce to you a breathing exercise we use in yoga, which is called Ujjayi Breathing. So Ujjayi means breathing in and out through your nose constantly all throughout the practice. Okay, so place one hand in front of you, your right hand. Okay, so your right hand in front of you. So take an inhale through your nose, and then just exhale. You're going to blow the air out through your mouth, and then just like that. Imagine that your hand is a mirror. If you have a mirror, you can grab it, but it doesn't matter. So exhale through that hand to your mirror, so your imaginary mirror. So exhale there. And then notice that if you have a mirror in front of you, when you do that, when you exhale there, you're fogging your mirror. So when we do the Ujjayi breathing, we're going to close the mouth. We're going to breathe in and out through our nose. But the same concept, we want to let the air go. We want to fog the mirror through the nose. So just imagine you have a mirror, mouth closed. So breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out through your nose. Okay, so breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out back through your nose. Okay, so the goal here is to create that fog-like sensation, not sensations, but fog-like towards your imaginary mirror. My dog. So fog your mirror through your nose. So when you exhale, breathe out through your nose. You can also feel the breath through your hands when you exhale with your mouth closed. And then you let the air create that small, or not small, but a wave-like sound at the back of your throat. So you can place one hand down. Okay, so you may close your eyes or keep your eyes open. I want you to draw your attention, your full attention to your breath. Okay, so take an inhale through your nose. With your mouth closed and relaxed, exhale back through your nose. So imagine there's that imaginary mirror in front of your nose, in front of your face. So inhale through your nose. Exhale, fog your mirror through your nose. So breathing in and breathing out. So Ujjayi breathing from here. Breathe in, breathe out. And another full breath, just like this. Soft, peaceful inhale. And a soft, peaceful exhale. Good. And then blink the eyes open if you decided to close your eyes. Pardon my brain at the moment. It's not yet fully working. I just woke up from a quick nap earlier this afternoon. Okay, so place your left hand on top of your left leg. Extend your right arm out towards the side. Okay, so this is one of my favorite stretches for forearms and the neck at the same time. So with your right arm extended, spread your fingers wide in a way that it's not too much. Just soften the way you spread your fingers out wide. And as you extend your right arm, again, think of pushing your right palm towards a wall. So push the right arm, but don't let the rest of your body follow. Resist. Your shoulders and hips stays in the midline as you push your right arm to the side. Okay, so relax the shoulders, right arm out, and then gently bend your head towards the left. Okay, so right arm extends towards the right side, right palm pushing towards the wall, towards the side, as you lower your head towards the left shoulder. If you were doing a lot of computer stuff today, or a lot of texting, or maybe browsing through your phone, you might feel a great deal of sensations on your forearm area. Okay, now carefully on your next exhale, bring your head back to neutral position. Just keep your right arm extended. Turn your right fingers to face down, as if you want your hand, as if you want to have the backside of your hand to the forehead. In Filipino, in the Philippines, we let people bless us like that. So place your fingers pointing down, backside of your hand pushing towards the wall. If this is already a great amount of stretch for you, you can stay with your head in neutral position. Otherwise, if you want to add on, once again, lower your head to the left. And then as you lower your head to one side, if you decided to do that, maintain that your right arm is constantly pushing to the right side of the room. Okay, now bring your head back towards the center. Place your right fingers to point up, and then let your right fingers rest towards the sides of your neck. Okay, so just gently let your right fingers touch through towards the neck. Left arm remains on the left side. Take an inhale, lift your chest upward. Exhale, let's side bend towards the left, and then as you bend sideways, open your chest towards the right side, as if you want to puff out your chest all the way facing upward towards the ceiling. So there's a slight twist happening with your torso in this position. And then make sure that you constantly invite both of your shoulders down onto the shoulder socket. Avoid lifting your shoulders towards your ears. Maybe take an inhale, lift the chest, puff it up more. Next exhale, twist a little bit more to the right side. Now inhale, revolve back to center. Exhale, release. Relax your right arm. You may just gently move your right forearm, your right wrist, and we'll switch sides. Right hand rests. Extend your left arm outward. Palm is facing the wall towards the left side. Spread your fingers out wide, but not intense. Soften it. Once again, stay. Push the arm towards the side, but resist your whole body from going towards the left side. Keep your torso towards the midline. And whenever you're ready, lower your head towards the right. And just take a few moments into this position. And then inhale all the way back to the center. Left arm is still extended. Just turn your left fingers to point down towards the mat and push the backside of your hand to the wall. You can stay with your head towards the midline. Otherwise, if you want more, lower your head down to the right side. Just take a few moments to be in this position, noticing what feels tight, noticing what parts of your body is compensating. Okay, for me, if I do this and whenever I feel tight, what compensates is that my right shoulder comes close towards my right ear because I don't like the stretch on my left arm. So if my shoulder begins to compensate, I consciously invite my shoulder down. And then back to center with the head if you decided to lower it down. Left fingers pointing upward. Once again, place your left hand towards the neck area. Okay. Take an inhale, lift up the chest. As you exhale, slightly side bend. Puff out the chest to the front and spin your chest open towards the left side. Excuse me. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a really deep stretch for you. It doesn't have to be a deep twist. Work in a way that you're able to stretch out your body. If you haven't done any movement or exercise this day, this morning, let this be your movement for today. Okay, I want you to lead through your elbow. Let your elbow point upward and slightly leaning towards the back. And then inhale all the way back. Exhale, release. Okay. And then I want you to come onto your hands and knees, tabletop position. Okay, so coming onto your tabletop. If you have sensitive wrists, last night I received a message that whenever she does downward dog or planks, she feels great amount of pain on her wrists. If you feel that, I would suggest that the top side of your mat, cushion it, roll it, fold it as many times as you like. Okay, so cushion it, so that you can elevate your wrist. If you have sensitive wrists, please elevate the wrist so that you're not putting or dumping weight onto your wrist. And when we come onto a hand position where our body is pressing down towards our hands, invite that the weight is on your inner knuckles and you spread your fingers out wide. So don't just rely on your wrists, okay? So again, if your wrists are sensitive, cushion your wrists, elevate it. Otherwise, palms flat on the mat. Okay, so coming to your tabletop position. So from your tabletop, uncurl the toes, so letting the tops of the feet press down towards the mat. I want you to let them move. We're going to come into cat and cows to work the spine. Focus on your hips, your pelvis area. You want to lead through your hips. So on your inhale, you tilt your tailbone back, dropping the belly, and you let your chest move forward and up, coming into a cow position. As you exhale, lead through the tailbone once more. Tuck the tailbone until you feel the rest of your spine round. Last is your chin to your chest. Inhale, tailbone points back, bringing the belly down, chest opens, lifting the heart up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round through the mid-back, all the way to the upper back, chin to your chest. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, point the tailbone back, drop the belly, chest open, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, tailbone points down to the mat, curling the belly in, curling the chin towards your chest. 1 more time. Inhale, belly down, chest open, heart forward. Exhale, push and round your spine, coming into cat. Now inhale, come back to neutral position. Not overarching, not over rounding your back, just the natural curves. Tuck your toes here from your tabletop, tuck all 10 toes. Step your right foot outward to the right side of the mat. Okay, so once you step your right foot, invite the pinky toe side to step down, flatten your right foot, and walk your hands towards you, coming into a kneeling position. So half kneeling and half extended with one leg. Yes. Okay, once you're here, place your right hand towards your right leg. Just soften that right arm. Lift the left arm upward towards the sky. Take an inhale. Use the side body, your left side. Inhale, lift upward. As you exhale, glide your right hand through to your right leg and let your left arm reach over towards the right side. Coming into gate pose or Parigasana. So if you're in this position, I want you to take a pause and assess. Notice if you're slightly rounding your spine here, that means your body is compensating the stretch. So find a way that you're able to open, revolve. If that means you have to lift your right arm slightly higher, you can also do so. It doesn't have to be a really, really deep side bend. Just come in a side bend that is accessible for you. Take another full breath, full inhale, and full exhale. Now inhale back to center. Replace both hands back to the mat. Step back the right knee towards the mat and step your left foot out. Okay, so left side. So I'll face you. So step your left leg out. Remember to tuck your right toes so you'll have support. And then flatten the left toes down. Walk your hands towards you, coming into a preparation for your gate pose, Parigasana. If your knee is sensitive, towel, cushion, pillows, or curl the mats here. Now lower your left hand down towards your left leg. I don't want you to push your left hand heavily towards your leg. Let it be light. Lift your right arm up. Okay, so right arm goes up. Side body, let the movement come from your hip. Lift the hip up all the way, reaching your right arm up. Exhale, glide your left hand and side bend towards the left side of you. Okay, so if you feel that you need to bend more, stretch more, use your exhales to bring you deeper into that side bend. Okay, and then observe if you're starting to cave in with your torso, you're starting to round the back. That means back off a little bit. Chest lifts open. Take another full breath. Inhale here. And exhale all the way back to center. Release. Okay, and then come into a seated position. Okay, so coming into a seated pose. Nice. Now from here, I'll quickly talk you through sun salutation. So for some of you, you've been doing yoga, you might hear a lot of teachers say, do your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. So a vinyasa consists of plank, chaturanga, which is your push-up, can be modified, your upward dog, and then your down dog. So first things first, I want to establish plank pose. So you can watch first, and then we'll go through it together. So coming into your plank pose, I talked about this yesterday in our headstand class. So in plank pose, most of us might be here. Okay, this is a perfect example for compensating. Okay, so since the body feels that the arms feels that the body is heavy, we sag the hips. So in plank pose, we want to activate. Okay, so let your hips move upward, and then try to remember your cat spine, your round back. You want to apply that in your plank pose. So you round your spine by pushing the chest away from the floor. And once you're able to round your spine, draw the shoulder heads back into the shoulder socket. And now as I do this position, my core is really tight. I don't have to think tight belly. When I round my back, when I push the chest away from the floor, my core is engaged. Now what happens to the legs? My heels are up above of my toes, but I send my heels back. Okay, so my legs are relaxed like this. To engage my legs, I send the heels back. I lift my chest up. I look straight ahead, coming into plank pose. All right, so I'd like you to do your plank pose. Okay, so find your plank pose, guys. Okay, so find your plank. If you have a mirror in front of you, you can check your sides. If you're sagging your hips, if you're back bending so much in your plank pose, okay, find that you're able to straighten the arms. Your hands are just underneath of your shoulders. With your hands pressing down, you want to push your chest away from the floor until you can feel your wings, your scapula move towards your armpit area. So think of the back muscles of your shoulders wrapping inwards towards the armpit. So you're rounding your spine, and once you do that, your core engages, your heels above of your toes, but push your heels towards the backside. Okay, and then if you're in your plank pose, take a moment to just rest, relax. I tend to talk a lot, so if you need to rest, okay? And then from your plank, just the backside of your hands, place it down, and then just let it release tension from your plank. Okay. Now from your plank pose, so I'm breaking down the sun salutation A because we'll combine this all together later on. And from your plank pose, the next one is your chaturanga or your push-up. So in the gym, for those of you who does gym work, I know that they encourage you to go wide with your push-ups, and then push-ups are elbows out. The difference with chaturanga and yoga is that the arms are still the same, shoulder distance apart. And then here, from here, we really work the arms, biceps and triceps. From plank pose, using the heels, we shift the weight slightly forward. So really high on the tiptoes. And then all the weight is onto my arms. I bend the elbows towards my ribs. So my chest is just a few inches off the ground. Okay, this is my plank, my chaturanga. And then I push back plank pose, and then back to down dog. Okay, so that's the full chaturanga in yoga. So the difference is that arms are shoulder width apart. When we lower down, the elbows goes towards the ribs. Okay, and then the hips doesn't go down, the hips doesn't come into a back bend. We remain the whole plank body, but lowering it to a bent elbow position. Okay, so modified version is you lower, so same. Even if you're modifying it, you want to shift your weight forward, lower the knees down, bend the elbows towards your ribs, okay? And then coming into your half chaturanga. And then slowly push back, okay? So you can go ahead, do plank to chaturanga from here. Yes, go Kev, you can do it. Okay, so plank pose. Shift your weight forward. Yes, good. So this is why I mentioned earlier that in Chaturanga, we really work the arms here is because we carry so much of the weight towards the arms. Okay? So if you notice that when you come to your plank to Chaturanga, if you start to do this, okay, that means you're compensating, your body is compensating. We don't want this to happen. So that means we have to modify. Okay? When we modify, it doesn't mean that you're not strong. When you modify, you make it safer for your joints especially, okay? So please modify if needed. Now for those of you who has blocks, so this is where the blocks comes into play. So I'll face you, okay? So shoulder distance apart. You can sit down, all right? So same. So I'll place my knees down, modified version, okay? So plank, shift forward, lower the knees. I lower my shoulders down. So this is how far my shoulders goes off the mat, okay? And then we push all the way up. Yep. All right? So you guys still okay? And don't worry, we'll just break this down really quick and then we'll come through a whole vinyasa, all right? So from your plank, forward, Chaturanga, your upward dog, uncurl the toes. We lower the hips down, the knee stays floating. Press the hands down, lift your chest up, coming into up dog. So your knees are not down, knees are floating off the mat. Okay, so come to an up dog position. Okay, so upward dog. In your upward facing dog, I want you to think of your hips pushing down to the floor, but you don't let it touch. And as you lower your hips down, you lift your chest upward towards face. Your shoulders moves back, but then you want to push your wrists, you want to actively push it towards the back side of the room. So your arms are still working in your upward facing dog. Does it make sense? When you push your wrist towards the back, okay? So one more time. Plank, Chaturanga, upward facing dog. And then from here, knees goes down, hips back, back to table, tuck the toes, and then we push back, coming into downward facing dog. All right, good. Okay, now from your down dog, soften the knees, look to your hands, walk, step, hop, or just simply bring yourselves to the front side of the mat. Okay, so come to the top side of your mat. Once you're on top of your mat, separate your feet wide, really wide. Drop the head down, ragdoll position. Let the elbows rest over the other. And then just let your knees be really, really soft here. Okay, so let gravity pull the weight of the body down. And then if you need to catch your breath, exhale through your mouth. Take another full breath here. And then place your hands onto your hips. Flatten the feet down. Okay, really root down through all corners of your feet. And then push yourself up one vertebrae at a time. The last to come up is your chin. And then up. Good. Nice. Once you're up, okay, you can stay facing the top side of the mat, but I'll face you. Separate your feet hip width apart this time. So hip distance apart. Extend both arms upward towards the sky. So upward. Left fingers hold your right wrist. Okay, so hold on towards your right wrist. Step your right foot to the back of your left leg, coming into like a dancer position. Okay. Yeah, so you'll look fancy here. And then from here, okay, pull your right arm upward. As you exhale, side bend to the left. Yes. Okay, you may also lean back a little bit with your weight towards your back foot as you pull your right arm up and over of your head. And then slowly come back to center, step forward, release your hands, release your sides, release your hands. We'll switch sides, lift both arms up, right hand holds your left wrist, step your left foot behind of your right leg. Okay, you can soften both knees here, lift up, pull your left arm up, and then exhale, side bend. If you feel you need more stretch here, you're welcome to lean back and side bend. So work in a way that you're able to get a stretch that feels right, that feels good for you this afternoon. Good. Take another full breath here. I personally like doing this early in the morning in my practice. And then slowly back to center. Exhale, release. Good. And then come into your standing position, Tadasana in Sanskrit, feet together, big toes touch, heels may touch, depends on the anatomy of your body. Okay, just invite your legs together. Place your fingers on top of your shoulders. If you're uncomfortable with legs together, hip distance apart is also okay. Now from here, just rotate your shoulders inward and out, inward and out. Yeah, if you have mirrors, you can look at yourself, you know, how you look here. If you want to go inward and focus on what your body feels, focus on the movement, you're welcome to close your eyes. And then just mindfully reverse the direction of the circle. And then pause back at the center on your next exhale. Interlace your fingers to the back of your head. Okay, interlace your fingers. And if your feet are together, please separate them hip distance apart. Clip the elbows inwards. Okay, so bring the elbows inwards. Soften the knees. And then push your head toward your chin towards your chest. As you do that, start to roll your spine inward so that your elbow aims to touch the knees. If your elbow can touch the knees, let it touch and rest there. If that's unavailable this afternoon, it's okay if they don't touch. Just think of pointing the elbow towards the knees. And as you come into this round position, let your tailbone constantly point upward towards the sky. So that gives you that length towards the hamstring area as you not really elongate, but as you stretch out your spine here. If you watch TV a lot every day, you're always on your bed, always on your couch, this is a nice counter position that you can do from Netflixing and chill. Now your head is the last one to come up. Okay, so unravel yourself in the pose, lift your chest up, but keep your chin to your chest. Okay, and then just keep your chin to your chest even if you're fully up, and then see if you can gently let your elbows point down to the floor. Okay. Your knees are still soft here. So we're aiming to stretch the back side of the neck. And then come all the way back to center. Exhale, release. Good job. And then come to the top side of your mat if you're all the way to the back. So stay at the top side, feet together, heels may or may not touch. Arms to your sides and just rotate your arms outward. Externally rotate the arms, lift your chest up. Feet is flat. Inhale, lift the arms upward towards the ceiling. As you exhale, just slightly bend the knees, shift your weight forward and down. Land your hands wherever it falls. It can be on your shins. It can be towards the tops of the mat. So wherever your hands are, keep them there. Inhale, lift halfway up, make a flat back, look straight ahead. Exhale, head down, chest down once more towards the legs. Feet remains flat. Inhale, circle your arms all the way back up towards the ceiling, palms to touch, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, hands to your heart center, back to Tadasana, mountain pose. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms to the sides, lift the arms up. Exhale, soften the knees, fold forward, head down, chest down. Inhale, look halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, head down, chest down to the legs. Inhale, circle the arms all the way back up towards the ceiling, palms to touch, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, hands back to prayer in front of your chest. Now we'll add the plank chaturanga, up dog, down dog from here, or sun salutation A. Hands to your sides, lift the chest up. Take an inhale, lift the arms up, grow tall from the sides of your waist. Exhale, chest forward and fold any amount down, head towards the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, make a flat spine, look straight ahead. As we exhale this time, bend your knees a lot. Okay, keep bending the knees to plant the hands down for plank pose. Step back your foot one at a time. Okay, so find your plank pose. Don't rush into your plank. Remember, strong plank pose. Shift your weight forward, knees down to modify chaturanga or half chaturanga. Drop the hips down, roll the chest forward and up, upward facing dog. Shoulder heads back. Exhale, knees down, hips back. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Good. So as we come into our down dog, keep your hands pressed down to the mat. Head is hanging in between of the arms. Bend both knees a lot, but not touching the floor. And as you bend both knees a lot, push the hip upward towards the sky. So when you push your tailbone up, that gives you a lot of space, a lot of length onto your spine, and it decompresses any tension on your low back especially. Now maintain that your right knee is bent. Just push the left heel flatten down towards the mat. So tapping into the hamstrings of our left leg. Take another full breath in through your nose. And you may sigh it out through your mouth. Reband your left. Press the right heel down to the mat, straightening the right leg, and push the tailbone upward. Your right heel may or may not touch the floor. It's perfectly fine. And then keep your right leg as is. See if you can let both legs come into a full down dog position. Heels may touch the floor or slightly lifted. You may also slightly bend the knees. It's perfectly fine. Just remember, straight spine, even if you're bending forward and down in your down dog. Until tailbone goes up. Now inhale, bend your knees a lot, but not touching the floor. Look to your thumbs, your hands. Walk, step, or maybe jump yourself to the top side of the mat. Bring yourself in front. Okay, back to your half fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Spine is long. Exhale, head down, chest down. You can always soften the knees here. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up, back towards the ceiling. Hands in prayer. Gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, hands in prayer in front of your hearts. Close your eyes just for a few deep breaths. Just use this moment to check in with your breath. Check in with your heartbeat. Your thoughts, maybe. Slowly, mindfully open the eyes. Hands onto your hips this time. Okay, so hands onto hips. Step your right foot all the way back. So right foot to the back. Good. Once your right foot is stepped back, slightly turn your right toes in so it's at an angle, so it's not fully pointing to the edges of your mat. Angle your right toe slightly in, so your hips are slightly facing the right edge of your mat. And then let your left big toe press down to the floor. Send your left knee above of your left ankle. Yes. So as you bring your left knee to a bend, keep engaging your right leg by pressing your right pinky toe down to the floor. Okay, so press your right pinky toe down so that straightens your right leg, but send your left knee forward. So your left knee just stays on top of your left knee on top of your ankle, and then open the arms into a T, warrior two. So coming into your full warrior. So in warrior two, we're not here, we're not here, we're in the midline, okay? So knee on top of the ankle, right leg straight. From here, flip the left palm to face up. Don't move your left knee, but hinge from your hip. Reach forward with the left arm, and then lift your arm up and back. Land your right hand to your right leg. Same position with what we did in gate pose, except that the legs are different. Now, as we come to reverse warrior, push your left knee forward, but reach your left arm back. So opening and stretching the sides of your waist. For freedivers, this is also a really nice, good intercostal stretch. Okay, and then inhale, back to center, back to warrior two. Hands into your hips, straighten your right leg, left leg, turn your toes outward towards the edges of the mat. Good. And then extend your arms open into a T. Okay. So we're coming into a wide leg standing position. Let your wrist and heels be in one line with each other. So think of a string in between of your palms and your ankles, your heels. That's how far your legs should be. Now place your hands back onto your hips. We'll come into a forward fold. Soften the knees, so slightly bend the knees. Lift the chest up, inhale. As you exhale, push the hip back so that the chest goes forward. Once you're able to bring your chest parallel to the floor, lower your hands down to the mat. Cup the fingers so you'll have more length and space. And then once you're able to lower your hands, see if you could straighten the legs in this position. And then notice if your weight is backward towards the heels, shift your weight actively to the tops of your feet towards your toes. Okay, just like this for a full breath. And now as we pause here, think of your inner thighs, squeeze them towards the center. So squeeze your inner thighs towards the center, but your legs remains as is. So now you're working your legs and not just dumping weight onto your knees. Now place your right hand underneath of your chest. You're cupping your fingers or flattening your right hand. Spin your chest open to the left, open your left arm up. Coming into a twist. Yes, that's it. Okay. And then as you twist, remember, squeeze your inner thighs towards the center. So squeeze the legs together. Look towards the left side and gaze back down towards the mat. Switch hands, left hand down. Open your chest forward first. As you exhale, spin open the chest and reach your right arm up. Yes. Good. Feet are flat, inner thighs squeezing together. And then replace your hands down to the mat. Soften both knees. Okay, walk the hands to your feet. Push all the way back up. Bring your feet together or hop the feet towards the center. So feet together. Good. You may stay facing where you are. Bring your right knee up towards you. Okay, so find your right leg. Yeah. And then you can just relax your left knee here so you're not tensing your left leg. Okay, and then from there, place your left hand to your left hip. Move your right leg out to the side. Place your right foot, option 1, up to your inner thigh for tree. Option 2, modify. Foot is on the sides of your calf, the sides of your shin. Option 3, heel is close to the ankle as your toes touches down to the floor. Okay, so choose the option, the variation that feels accessible. So on the inner thigh is option 1. On the shin side, option 2. Heel to the ankle, toes down, option 3. Okay, so find your tree pose. Now, if you decide to put your foot on top of your inner thigh of the opposite leg, actively push the foot to your inner thigh and inner thigh pushing to the foot. So they're pressing towards the midline. Now, hands can be on your hips if this is accessible. You may also place your hands in prayer position in front of your heart, in front of your chest, or full expression of the pose. Arms can go upward all the way towards the sky. And we're going to stay here for 5, 4. For some of you, if you want to challenge yourself here, you can close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Hands back to your hips. Step your right foot down to the mat. Shake your legs. Your standing leg might be burning. Or not burnt, but burning. Step forward if you're not. Come back to the top side of the mat. Hands onto the sides. We'll go through a vinyasa and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so find your mountain pose, Tadasana. Rotate your arms outward. Lift the chest up. Take an inhale, lift the arms up. Reach up high. Exhale, soften the knees, chest forward, and let it go as close as you can towards your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Find length in the spine. Gaze forward. Exhale, bend the knees a lot to lower the hands down, preparing for plank. Step 1 foot at a time to your full plank pose. From your full plank pose, drop the knees down, modify the push-up, modify Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the knees, lift the hips, shoulders back. Exhale, lower the knees down. Curl the toes, downward facing dog. As you come to down dog, check back with how your body feels. Check back with your breathing. If you need to take cleansing breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Now bend the knees a lot, but not touching the mat. Gaze forward, step, walk, or hop to the top side of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway up, find length onto the spine. Exhale, soften the knees, head down towards the legs. Ground through the feet. Inhale, circle the arms all the way upward towards the sky. Hands in prayer, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Back to Samasthiti or Tadasana. Hands into your hips. Now, from here, step your left foot back. So your other leg. Yeah, my nose is really itchy. So step your left foot back. Okay, and then remember we're coming into Warrior 2. So always remember in Warrior 2, we're not just, pushing our weight to one side. We engage both legs. So spin your back toe slightly in, angle it. It's really important to position your feet because where your toes point, your knees will follow. And it's really important to keep your knees safe at all times, all right? Now, coming into your straight leg position, press your left pinky toe down to the mat, engaging the left leg. Send that right knee up and over of your right ankle. Warrior 2, right? Now, if you're starting to lean forward, that means you're compensating a little bit. Shift back, stack the hips underneath of your shoulders, and then open the arms into a T, full Warrior 2. So really strong and stable in your Warrior 2. The legs remains as is. Flip the right palm to face up. Hinge forward and bring that right arm up and over, landing the left hand to your left leg, coming into reverse warrior. To take that stretch that you need, just keep pushing the right knee forward, but your right arm reaches as far back as you can. Yes, really taking that time to stretch. Another full breath into your reverse warrior. Inhale, use your legs, come all the way back to warrior 2. Hands to hips, exhale, straighten the right leg, turn your right toes in. And then come back to a wide-legged stance here. Okay, toes slightly facing the edges of the mat. Now extend your arms back, not back, but sideways. Extend your arms to the sides, and then start to interlace your fingers behind you. So if you can't interlace your fingers, if you have towels, cards, lanyards maybe, or straps, hold something in between it. Otherwise, just grab hold of opposite elbows from here. Now, if you're able to hold on to your hands, or if you're able to hold on to something, as you inhale, just extend the arms, lift the chest up. Exhale, send the hip back, chest goes forward, and then reach your arm as far back as you can, lowering your head as deep as you can without compensating on the knees. Okay, so think of the tailbone pushing upward towards the sky to find length onto the hamstrings. And then imagine that there's a string at the crown of your head pulling you down towards the mat. So really long with the spine. And then just extend your arms to how open your shoulders are this afternoon. Take another full breath here. And then soften the knees, hands onto your hips. Come all the way up, 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 back to standing. Feet together towards the center. Once your feet is back at the center, soften your right leg, bring your left knee up towards you. If you're shaking, if you're wobbling, that's fine. Yes. Good. Now, if you feel that you want to also add a little bit of hip flexor stretch, your hip flexors, you can, with your standing leg bent, you can just lean back a little bit. That's also one way to stretch your hip flexors here. Okay, and then from there, place your left hand to your left hip. I'll do the opposite side. Okay, and then take your foot into your tree pose. So find your tree. So again, option 1, foot can be towards your inner thighs. Option 2, towards the shin side, but not the knee. Option 3, heel to ankle as your toes touches down the floor. And then let your hips revolve to center, chest up. Hands can be onto your hips. Hands can be in prayer position in front of your heart, or the full expression of the pose, Vrikshasana tree, arms extended all the way up. Good. We're going to hold this for 5. If you want to challenge yourselves, if you want to challenge your balance, close your eyes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands back to your hips. Lower your legs back down together and shake your legs. Good. Nice one, you guys. And we'll do 1 round of sun salutation B, and then we'll come do wall works. So one of my favorites in practicing yoga is using the wall a lot. So come into legs together position, Tadasana, facing the top side of your mat. The tops, yes. Come into a squat position, lifting the arms up. Utkatasana, fierce pose or chair. Now just gaze down slightly. You should be able to see your toes. If you don't see your toes, that means you have to shift your weight backwards a little bit, okay? So yes, toes are up. If you like to work the legs a little bit more, and then hug the ribs in, slightly rounding the upper back. Take an inhale in your chair pose. Exhale, just fold forward and down. Head down, hang. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend the knees. Plant the hands down for plank pose. And come to your full plank. Yes, full plank. Now lower your knees down. Come to your modified Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, knees down, tuck your toes. Shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Now from your down dog, gaze forward, soften the knees, step the right foot in between of your hands. Now, if you can't lift your right foot all the way, right hand to right foot, step it one more time. Tent your fingers on either sides of your right leg. So you have more length here. So tent your fingers, back heel, spin it flat and down. So flatten your left heel. So your left toes are at an angle. Good. So when you flatten your left heel, your hips should be facing forward. Bending your right knee, lift the arms up into a warrior 1 position. Yes. So this is your warrior 1. Now take an inhale in warrior 1. Exhale, lower your hands down. Step back, find your plank pose. Lower down to your Chaturanga. I'll always drop my knees down to modify it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now look forward to the top side of the mat. Step your left foot in between of your hands. Tent the fingers out. Spin your right foot flat and down. Bend the left knee. Hips are looking forward. Lift both arms up into your warrior 1. Good. Take an inhale. Lengthen the sides of your waist. Exhale, lower your hands down, plank arms. Find plank pose. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Come into your back bend. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Take a full breath here, all together. In through the nose. And a big sigh through your mouth. Inhale, bend the knees a lot. Look to your hands. Step, walk, or hop yourself all the way to the tops of the mat. Inhale, make a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. This time, bend your knees once more. Squat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten your legs, hands to your sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Good job, everyone. You still okay? Just thumbs up if you're still okay. Nice. Good job. And from here, adjust your mat towards the wall. Yes. Wall or glass. Coming onto the glass, Kev, is fine. You can stay close towards your glass. Yeah. Okay. So once you're there, sit back, lean back towards the wall, and extend your legs all the way. Yes. Good. Okay, once you're here, I want you to focus on your spine. Let your pelvis, your hips, your low back, mid back, all the way to your head, lean towards the wall. Okay, so try to flatten your spine as much as you can. And then as you flatten your spine, let's engage the legs by flexing your feet, letting your toes point towards you. Okay. And then you may just cup your fingers on the sides, or you may, you may lightly rest your hands on top of your legs. Yeah. Okay, so in this manner, you might, for some of you, you might not feel anything here, but you're still getting the benefits of this position, finding length onto your spine, creating space. Most of the time when we're just watching TV, we do this position a lot. So coming into this position counters that round form of the spine. Good. And then just soften and relax. And just relax, unwind. Now we're going to turn our back so we're facing the wall or we're facing the glass for Kevin. Yeah, once you're there, okay, so just imagine I have a wall beside me, okay, so I could explain things to you. So from here, try to bring your legs upward towards the wall and your hand stays towards the back. Okay, so your pelvis doesn't have to be touching the wall. Just find a way that you're able to bring your legs up. Your spine will round, but adjust so that you could push your chest facing upward towards your wall. So you want to stretch your hamstrings here. Yeah, aim for straight, long spine, not rounded spine. So that means if you have to adjust the height of your legs, you can also do so. If that means you have to micro bend your knees, then please do so also. So find a position where you're able to focus on your hamstrings and a little bit of shoulders. And we're just gonna stay for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, soften and just let go of your feet. Rest for a few moments. Okay. We're going to do that 2 more times, but every time we're going to attempt that variation of a hamstring stretch, we're going to bring our legs as close as we can towards the wall. So we're going deeper and deeper onto the hamstrings. In this manner, there's no chances of us overstretching the hamstrings because when we feel that it's intense, automatically you will back off, okay? So as we come into each stretches, I want you to not listen to your ego, don't cater it, listen to your body, all right? So second round, catching my breath a lot. So second round, legs up, chest up. Okay, so try to bring your chest as close as you can to your legs this time. Yes. So the closer you can bring your chest towards your legs, the more that you can maximize the stretch. Yeah, I'll just browse through for those of you who has your videos on. And then last 2, 1, let go, release, just rest for a few moments. Okay, you may even shake your legs if that feels good. Okay. And then we'll go 1 more time, last round. For the last round, try to bring yourself as close as you can towards the wall, okay? So maybe the backside of your legs, your hamstring area can be super close to the wall, and then as you bring your legs there, your chest can be super close to the wall also. So bring yourself as close as you can to the wall. So try to go deeper than your second round, right? Whenever you're ready, come to your walls. Yes, good. Yes. For the last one, let's aim for a little bit deeper, but in a way you're not creating unnecessary tension in the body. See if you can lift your chest more, Kev. Good. Relax the shoulders. Nice. Last 3, 2, 1. Just keep your legs up on the wall, okay? And from there, just bend your knees a little bit so that you can lower your elbows down one at a time. And then, or however you want, bring your hips all the way towards the wall. Okay, so you're gonna go all the way lying down with your legs up on the wall. Now, for those of you who has sensitive back, if you have lower back pains like I do, I've been having back pains for the last 3 days. Take a blanket, pillow maybe, and then elevate your hips. And then as you come here, just let your legs rest on the wall. And find a comfortable position for your arms, for your hands. Maybe close your eyes if that feels really nice. And just simply allow the blood to flow all the way down towards your hips. Now, if your eyes are closed, you may keep them closed or you may slightly open them. And just open your legs as wide as you wish. Okay, so coming into a variation of Upavishta Konasana, but on the wall. Okay, so it doesn't have to be fully open. For as long as you're able to feel your inner thighs, that's already enough. And if your toes wants to fall open to the sides, you may let them do that. You don't have to take control of your legs. Simply allow the stretch to happen. You know, most of the time in our daily lives, before all this Corona thing happened, we were so caught up in living a fast-paced life that we forget to take time for ourselves. We forget to take pauses in between our days to check on ourselves. Forget to give ourselves that permission to just simply breathe. So busy most of the days. When we get up, we rush to work. When we get up, you know, always rushing. I like to think that this pandemic is teaching us to appreciate pauses, to appreciate how to see beauty in taking pauses. And then just mindfully bring your legs back together, back to the center, and just gently move your legs side to side. And once your legs are relieved from that stretch, bring your legs in a butterfly position, still on the wall. And don't worry, we're not getting out of this position anymore. We're just here on the wall, close to the wall. Place your feet, soles of your feet together, butterfly pose with the legs. And then just place your hands wherever it feels good. The good thing about wall work is that it lets us fully maximize the stretch, fully enjoy the benefits of the stretch without having to worry about unnecessary pain because of the support we get from the wall. That's also a good reminder for us, you know, to accept that sometimes we need support. I always believe that no man is an island. So yes, we always have to know when we need support and why we need it. As we stay a little bit more in this position, I want you to observe the thoughts inside of your head. Notice a quality of thoughts moving in and out. You know what's funny is that lately I've seen and heard of people panicking because they can't do anything. They don't want to be at home. They don't want to be where they are right now. They're always used to doing something. And I find it funny, it's because not everyone realizes that at the end of the day, we're always alone with ourselves. It's as if these times is like teaching us to be friends with our own company. And not everyone sees that. Not everyone enjoys stillness. Not everyone enjoys the company of oneself. And that's why I see a lot of people panic, go crazy. It's because they're afraid to be with themselves. They always seek for external things to keep them busy, not realizing that sometimes we have to pause. And from here, bring your knees to a bend, moving your feet upward towards the wall. We did this yesterday in our heads in class. We'll do this again for the hips. Grab your right foot, place your right foot over of your left leg. So coming into a figure 4 position with your legs. Now, if you already feel a lot of stretch on your outer right hip, just stay as is like this. Now, for those of you who wants to stretch more, go deeper into your glutes. Just bring your left heel close towards your pelvis. And then let your pelvic bone be heavy onto your mats. And if you want a little bit more here, just send that right knee pushing towards the wall. And just place your arms maybe to the side. And then notice that what your body is feeling is not associated with you. I'm not sure if that makes sense for you, but your body feels this, but you can always relax into that sensation. Most of the time we associate with our feelings, not knowing that we are not our feelings. As mindfully as you can, move out of the pose and switch sides. So once again, you may bring your right heel close towards you if you need that deeper stretch towards your glutes. If you want to add more, push your left knee towards the wall. And remember to constantly point your left toes towards your left knee so you protect your knee from any unnecessary pain. And let your pelvic bone be heavy towards the mat. And slowly bring your legs all the way back towards the wall, back to our first position. Now you are welcome to stay here for a few more minutes. You can stay here, or if you like, to come to your full Shavasana by lying all the way to your mat, moving your legs off the wall. You can also do so. So I'll give you the permission to stay with your legs up on the wall if that's what you need this afternoon. Or if you want to come to traditional Shavasana, you're welcome to come into traditional Shavasana. Now, wherever you are, I want you to consciously close your eyes. Find a comfortable position for your arms. Whatever things you hear around you, just let it be. Whatever thoughts that comes in and out of your mind, just let them move in and out. For the next few minutes, kindly give yourself the permission to just be here, to let your body rest, to let it rejuvenate, and find peace in Shavasana. And just keep your eyes closed. Slowly move your head side to side. Just bringing awareness back into your physical body. Bringing your attention back into this room. And arrive back at the center. Bring your hands together in prayer position and just rub your hands until you create the heat from rubbing of your hands. Once you feel that it's warm enough, just slowly place your hands on top of your eyes. And just keep your hands on top of your eyes and slowly open the eyes. A couple of blinks maybe if that's needed. And however you like, slowly, slowly come up into a seated position. Once you sit down, just Close your eyes once more. Just allow it to open for you to transition to a seated position. And once you're seated, sit comfortably. Rest your hands on top of your legs, eyes closed. Just mindfully stack your shoulders above of your hips, slightly lowering your chin down towards your heart. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths from here. Take an inhale through your nose and a sigh out through your mouth. On the next 2 cleansing breaths, as you exhale, I want you to exhale any unnecessary feelings, thoughts, or emotions that you've been keeping for the last few weeks or days. So whenever you're ready, take an inhale through your nose and let it out through your mouth. Let that exhale be a release of any negativity in you. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And just allow your breath to flow on its own. No need to take control of your breath. So with your eyes closed, I want you to bring your full attention to your breath. Without controlling it, count your breath. As you inhale, count 1, next breath 2, next breath 3. Just keep going until you reach 10. After 10, simply go back to 1. And just stop and pause wherever you are in your counting. Notice if you're slightly leaning your weight forward, just gently move your shoulders back above your hips. Lift both arms up towards the ceiling, hands in prayer. Bring your prayer hands to touch your forehead. May we have clear and good thoughts for the rest of the day. Bring your hands onto your lips. May we constantly speak kind and truthful words, not just to other people, but to ourselves at the same time. And lastly, hands onto your heart center. May our hearts know love, compassion, and forgiveness at all times. And as we are about to seal the practice and carry on with our personal lives, just for a few moments, inside of your head, make a mental list of 3 things that you are grateful for today. And always remind yourself, no matter how hard each day may be for you, no matter how hard a situation may be, there is always something to be grateful for. Thank you all for your beautiful presence this afternoon. May the light in me honor the light in you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something, even if it's like a very basic class. If you have questions, you're always welcome to ask, email, message us. It's my dog, Max. Yeah. This class will also be uploaded in Molchanovs YouTube, so you are welcome to access this anytime if you don't know what to do in the next few days, if you want to exercise or whatever. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.